Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Onoyemi and I want to specially welcome you to the LoveLearn Talk channel where I am going to be covering all things relationships. And I'm not going to be doing this alone. I'm also going to be having my husband work alongside with me. So we're both going to be doing it together. You're going to be seeing him in our videos, and we're going to be covering all things relationships. Whether you are beautifully single, or you are in a relationship, or you're even married, there's something for you to learn here. Okay, so we're going to be covering topics around how we can improve our relationships, how can we do better. Okay, relationship is a very essential part of our lives, and whatever choices we make around relationships has a very huge way of impacting our lives, whether positively or negatively. So we don't want to continue to live our relationship lives to trial and error. There's too much trial and error around relationships, and we all need to do better because it's a very essential part of our lives, and we want to learn what it takes and how to improve our relationships. So I'm going to be covering we're going to be covering topics around how do I know who to get married to? How do I know if this is the right person for me? And personally, this is something that I've experienced in the past, even before I got married. And even till today, a lot of young people still constantly ask this question: how do I know who to get married to? And if there is no clarity around this area, the chances that somebody somewhere somehow is going to make a wrong decision, even when we can all get it right with relationships. So for me, before I got married, I was at that point. I was so confused because there's a lot of philosophies and theories and ideologies around identifying who to get married to. Okay, and we cannot continue to leave that to chances. So I believe there's a better way. There's a system that can help us achieve a desired result. There's a system that can help us do relationships right. So because there's so much theory and philosophy and ideologies around identifying or understanding how to make a right choice or knowing who to get married to, so a lot of young people are confused. People are asking these questions all the time. Most of my conversations with young people around, or how do I know if this person is the right person for me, or I didn't know this wasn't going to be the right person for me, I wouldn't have started the I wouldn't have started the relationship initially. So we're going to be covering topics around that area. We're also going to be covering topics on, how do I identify a toxic partner? How do I know if I'm in a toxic relationship? And what should I even do when I identify this? Okay. And how can I also know if I am in the right place? How can I also identify red flags in a relationship? I mean, this is very, very huge. A lot of people that I speak with, day to day when I have conversation with people, and they are relating, some of the issues they're having in their relationship. And the first question that I want to ask is, has this person been like this before? Or this is just something new that that recently developed? And many times they have to pause to really think through, their times together. And most times they come up with, response like, oh, no, I actually saw some of these things even before we got married, or I actually saw some of these things at the early stage of our relationships, but our relationship, pardon me, but I just did not know what to do with it. I never knew it was an issue. I never knew it was going to be a big deal. So there's always going to be the handwriting on the wall. When you're in a relationship with a person, there's always going to be the handwriting on the wall, because people cannot pretend for so long. At some point or the other, you get to see who people really are. So it's now left for you to know how to interpret what you're seeing, or what to do with what you're seeing. So all these topics and beyond, we're going to be covering on this channel. We're also going to be covering some of those habits, or some of those things that we have picked in our family of origin, that has really shaped how we see things. And maybe some of them are not even healthy, and they can even affect our relationships at the long run. How can we identify some of those destructive behaviors, and how can we improve and be better, so we can have great relationships in our lives? So we're going to be covering all of these topics. So please subscribe, and I would see you another time. Thank you for listening.